And what are the major tax types that we must grapple with in China?
Oh, well, we have many tax types in China. Like I can't count them. But basically, we have broadly corporate income tax, CIT, what we call, individual income tax, IIT, value added tax, which is quite similar to New Zealand GST, and BT, business tax, consumption tax, stamp duty, other local levies. But I'll just broadly talk about the four major types. So corporate income tax is basically levied on both Chinese resident and non-resident enterprise at a flat rate of 25%. So for Chinese resident enterprise, you'll be taxed on CIT on your income, both sourced inside and outside of China. So that is your worldwide income. For non-tax resident, it will be broadly two scenarios. First, if you have a permanent establishment in China, you'll be taxed on the profit connected with that permanent establishment. If you don't have a permanent establishment in China, you may still be taxed on the profit that is sourced in China, such as your dividend, your interest, your capital gain, your royalties, and that would be at a withholding tax rate of 10%. But of course, your withholding tax rate can be further reduced with an applicable tax treaty with China. And individual income tax, similar principle, worldwide income, tax worldwide income on tax resident, and China source income on non-resident. And there's a rate from 5% to 45% progressive. And for 45%, I think is levied on a monthly income over around 19,000 New Zealand dollars. So that's the IIT.
Right.
So the value added tax is very similar to GST. So I would say like value added tax and the BT together is New Zealand GST. So VAT is basically on the tax on the sales of goods, the provision of certain services, and also the importation of goods into China. And it's a flat rate of 17%, but it can be further reduced for specific type of goods, or like if you qualify as a small scale taxpayer, you can actually get it even further reduced. Yeah. And it's worthwhile to note that the VAT is on a consumption basis. So actually the burdens ultimately shift to the consumer at the end of the day. And business tax, which is something we'll try to catch something that VAT hasn't been able to catch. So it's the tax on the provision of taxable service, the sale of immovable properties, and the transfer of intangible assets within China. And it's a flat rate of 5% on the gross receipt. So that's basically the four major tax types of China that you need to pay attention to.